The Consulate Rework. Initially love it or hate it, I think there's a very high likelihood that Reworked Consulate comes into the competitive map pool before Stage 2. Even if it doesn't, well, maybe I'll create the rank meta for it. I'm going to look into the map in a bit more depth. And stay tuned because there's a few cool tricks that you can all learn to help you win more ranked games on Consulate. In this video, I'm going to focus on the CEO and Meeting Bombsite, or better known as the top floor. I've dived deep into the Siege archives to when Consulate was last played in competitive Siege, a whopping 659 days ago, or nearly 1 year and 10 months, at the Mexico Major in 2021, to allow us to remind ourselves of what the old meta used to be on this map. To understand how the reworked bombsite will be defended, we first have to look at how they'll be attacked. There used to be two types of attacks on CO and Meeting. One started from admin and aimed to plant inside of Meeting. The other started with yellow stairs and aimed to plant inside of CEO. Starting with the admin take. On old Consulate, teams would clear admin, open the meeting wall with Hibana to clear out Meeting, or just simply nade over the wall for the player inside of Meeting, and then sit someone on the meeting balcony to hold the entire cross from connector and long desk, and then you would either plant behind the bomb or the Empire plant spot, which was tucked in the corner close left of the meeting window. On old Consulate, defense strats would consist of strats to try and stop the admin entry, either with a player sitting in one of the admin corners, as shown by G2 here. They actually utilized 2 players in the admin corners to deny the admin entry. Or some teams would pull out a Mira window inside of break room, coupled with a few reinforcements, maybe some castle barricades, and of course some ADSs to stop the player getting naded from printer window. But this is two ways of holding the entry into admin. Now let's have a look at how viable contesting the admin entry is on the new reworked Consulate. Well, an operator that wasn't released during Consulate's last stint inside of Pro League, Azami, and there are some very nice keeper barriers that you can do to block lines of sight inside of the admin office to contest the entry. You can duck and dive behind this metal barrier, as well as your keeper barriers to peek round. Here's another way that I thought of utilizing the keeper barriers to hold a power position inside of admin, a bit more similar to the way that G2 did it, where you just sit in one of the 2 corners. You can block the window angles and hold the repellents. You would also couple this power position with some ADSs or some Y discs to stop being naded from the windows. But a downside of these positions inside of admin are that the floor below in Visa is destructible, so you are susceptible to some vertical nades. You can also still hold on to admin with a mirror window inside a break room holding the 2 repellents. You just need to yet again be wary of vertical nades from below because there's a giant hatch right next to you and the whole floor is also destructible. You also need a player to hold the 3rd admin window repellent on the right hand side of this, and you need to be wary of a player holding your fallback from printer window. So all in all, I think that this mirror tactic is slightly less viable than the Azami one. Now cast your mind back to old Consulate again. Did you ever see this player inside a meeting and just feel painfully sorry for them, having to dodge 4 nades while being held from meeting door, meeting windows and connector window? Well yeah, defenses were forced to place someone with a shield inside a meeting to last as long as possible, because if you didn't play this position, then the bombsite was very easy for the attackers to plant in, and that's why attackers invested so much into clearing that position. And then from this position, all you needed to worry about is denying the C4 below in main lobby, which is very easy to do either from outside main door or walking down spiral stairs. Then you just needed to tussle with the long angles from bathroom and connector, usually in which the attackers would win because of their superior optic scopes, and planting was easy. Now let's have a look how this has changed with the rework. Well, the meeting wall and meeting door are still there. But where with the old Consulate, meeting windows and connector window could help clear out the meeting player, the new meeting breach cannot cover the meeting player. Neither can the connector window, now it's had its line of sight blocked. Both only cover the cross. So now, because the external lines of sight from outside the building that the attackers would have used to trap this smoke in his place, Smoke now has so much freedom to play in this position now on the rework, and it's a dangerous sight to play, especially on the meeting door with a shotgun and your smoke canisters. You can really delay time and influence the round. But yet again, as you can see, this position is susceptible to nades from below. I think I've made it pretty obvious that a lot of the top floor is destructible from below. But if you look towards this little hallway outside of meeting and top spiral, it is not. There is hard floor, which means it cannot be naded from below. And this is why I think we're going to see a very new meta kind of hold. Slap a shield down here on the soda machine. Couple it with a few ADSs or my discs to protect the shield, and it is genuinely a very difficult position to clear. The player on the soda machine can hold the entire cross, and then if you situate the rest of your team around in these positions, they can all swing off of the player on the soda machine's contact and trade. The meeting player can hold the break room door. Player on spiral stairs can't actually sit on spiral stairs because there's still a window and a skylight, so they can just sit behind the reception desk and hold the walk up the spiral stairs to protect the flank of the player on the soda machine, so the soda machine player can just look one direction, and they can also peek at any time onto break room to trade. Now, I do feel like the same way with the old Consulate in that you were forced to play inside of meeting, because if you didn't hold it and the attackers had control of it, then a plant was easy. And I feel the exact same way about the rework. If you don't hold this soda machine position and the attackers gain all of this hallway control for free, then they can pretty much set up everything they need to go for a meeting plant. They can hold the cross through meeting from this hallway. They can control top spiral and long desk as well. And all they need to do is just clear out projector in the exact same way by either just nading over the top of the wall or just Hibana X Kairos-ing the wall out, which is even easier now because it's even easier to control long desk. And once you yet again clear out the meeting position, then a plant is so easy and you cannot deny it as a defense. Apart from C4ing from below or denying with a smoke canister. Now, I have also found a really cool smoke lineup that utilizes the gap at the top of these two walls from a very safe position. If you line up with the back line on this soft floor, you look up and into the top of the dark black area, throw the smoke canister, and it will land perfectly above the meeting door to deny the default plant. Just a cool little Easter egg there for everyone who's made it this far into the video. You still can reinforce the meeting walls and play inside of meeting as you would have on the old Consulate. It's still a viable strategy because of all the bulletproof objects now in the meeting room and the lack of external line of sights into meeting, but the strategy just feels a bit more suffocated to me and a bit out of date. So I'll be excited to see if Consulate does come into the competitive map pool to see what kind of strategies that teams would like to set up with. Despite all this, I think teams should actually be more worried about the yellow CEO takes. If we think about the old Consulate, it would start with yellow stairs by clearing out the yellow stairs player, usually a Jaeger with ADSs. 3 stuns go through the window, followed up by a nade to kill the yellow stairs player, and then as soon as you get yellow stairs control, you can repel in bathroom, have a player sit top yellow and connect to window, hold all the crosses, and it allows your hard breacher to repel in and plant behind the CO desk. But with the rework Consulate, you actually can't hold yellow stairs at all, because there's a massive destructible wall in the center of it. You can't even deny this wall from being open with a bandit trick because you can simply see the wall and if there's a bandit from the skylight. So if you can't hold yellow stairs, where can you hold? We're going to follow the same trend as we did on the meeting side and looking for power positions that we can create that aren't destructible from below. And you'll see that this little hallway from the top of yellow stairs and the entirety of the reworked baguette area are indestructible and not exposed to exterior windows. Slap a shield down here with some ADSs in the position which I'm going to call lamp, so you can control the push from yellow and stop the attackers gaining control of the small office to the left hand side. Then stick a player in that small room to the left to swing off the player on the shield's contact, and then a third player behind the baguette desk to hold a third crossfire deeper into the bomb site. So that setup would look something a bit like this. I believe this position will become the new yellow stairs where everything is invested by the defense and the attackers to gain control over, because as soon as the attackers gain that control and gain position of lamp, they can set an attacker in lamp, then they can take control of the small room to the right hand side as well. They can cover the entire cross to allow their hard breacher to swing in CEO window and plant for free. only yet again deniable from a C4 from below or a smoke canister. Attackers can counter these crossfires a lot easier than on the admin side of the map, because you can sit on this top yellow window and hold the swing from the small room, or even capital firebolt it when you push. And a player can deny the baguette crossfire by stunning from the bathroom window, and potentially even jumping in after. Meanwhile, your entries on the yellow stairs can just push the lamp player and take the 1v1 or 2v1 to trade the lamp player out. So a yellow stairs take is a scary prospect to be up against as a defense. Once the attackers gain control of the lamp, small office and bathroom areas, and they can even open up the exterior meeting wall as well for extra pressure, the attackers can cover all of the defenders' retake avenues. I do understand that you can yet again deny the CEO window plant with a C4 from below, but my objective is to break the map down at a very early stage with the understanding of where the power positions are, what areas do the attackers want to take and need to take, etc. Those minor details of denying C4s from below just become that extra step once teams start scrimming the map. So if you want to create a defense that covers both a yellow stairs take and an admin take, I suggest you bring 2 shields on your warden and your frost. You have your warden playing the yellow side on the lamp position, and then you have your Azami holding the admin entry. Your then remaining 3 players will be flexible and reactive based on positioning depending on which push the attackers are doing. For an admin take, I think you should be positioned like this, and the Azami will play to fall back through top Visa stairs. And then against a yellow stairs take, I think they're repositioned like this, with Azami holding the Visa and spiral stairs backstabs, and the other 3 positions detailed like we outlined before. And there you have it, a very early breakdown of the newly reworked Consulate on the CEO and Meeting Bombsite. I thought Old Consulate was a very entertaining map to watch, but it did have its issues, as we all know. Retakes on the CEO, lobby, and garage bomb sites were all near impossible, and I think that to some extent that's still correct for the CEO and Meeting bomb sites. Retakes look to be very difficult because of the angles the attackers can hold with their superior scopes, but I think the map has ironed out some of its issues while still maintaining the map's core identity. I will be looking into the other bomb sites in future videos, but for this one, I did want to make a 40-minute video covering all 4 bomb sites, to be honest. We're already 12 minutes in and we've just done one site. So hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and thank you for watching.